So I built this fancy mechanical keyboard, but the O key doesn't work. Oh no!
Ooh! Ooh, this is exciting. Ooh, I'm excited. In this box is my very first non-put together mechanical keyboard, like the kind you gotta assemble yourself. I don't have to do any soldering. I didn't really want to do that, but it is from Glorious PC Gaming. So it's technically a PC keyboard, but I'm gonna go ahead and just assume it can work with a Mac and iPad. But I have all these things here. I saw Gary, the Everyday Dad, he tweeted a picture of this keyboard, and like I immediately fell in love with it, and I had ordered it within like 5 minutes of seeing the picture. So I have all this stuff here. I'm kind of unboxing it, and we'll walk through what I got. So this right here is the keyboard. This is the GMMK Pro. This is the base keyboard. Here, let's go ahead and open it. Need my pocket knife, which I have no idea what I did with. 1 second. Okay, that was a bit more than 1 second, but cut open the tape here. Let's see here. I saw a picture of this keyboard, like I said, and just, whoo, absolutely was just enamored by it. One of the cool things it has is it has one of the knobs. So you can, I'm guessing you could program it to do like volume controls and all sorts of stuff. Oh my gosh, this thing is heavy. It's got some heft to it. This thing is nice. Oh, yes. Oh, very much yes. Okay, I really like this. Yeah, this is going to be fun to put together. I've never put together a mechanical keyboard before. Kind of don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. And I kind of think that's the fun part of this. So, yeah, let's put this thing together. So, okay. So that's the keyboard. Then this is the brass switch plate. Drop the screws on the ground. Oh, this thing's nice. Oh, absolutely. I am liking this. Ooh, that's hefty. I also got these Kali white switches is what I'm going to use. And the thing that made me absolutely fall in love with this keyboard from the picture are these GPBT premium keycaps, whatever. They're called, these. I believe this is the Ocean one. Yes, Ocean. And it's like this blue to kind of teal color that kind of like goes diagonally. Ooh, it looks nice. So I'm excited for this. We're gonna put it all together. Now, I've never put together a mechanical keyboard, so I'm not gonna make this a tutorial about how to put together a mechanical keyboard because honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, I'm just gonna... All right, so it's a couple days later. I was able to finish the keyboard and everything works properly now. So what this is it's called a hot swappable keyboard. So key switches, you basically take them, they have pins on the end, and you just push them into the slot. Well, if you don't get them directly right on, you will bend the pins. And on the O key in particular, I replaced the switch 3 different times, but I kept bending the pin when I put it in there. So I walked away, came back to it a little later, and I was able to fix it. I was able to get it out. Fun tip, really quick. If you do make one of these, and you need to take the switch out and you're struggling with the tool that they send like this little like clamp mechanism. it didn't work for me. I have this flathead multi-tool. It's basically used for attaching tripod heads to cameras, but a flathead screwdriver or something like that totally would have worked. This popped those switches right out. Piece of cake, no big deal. But I was able to replace it. I just needed to walk away for a minute, replace the switch, and every key on the keyboard works perfectly now. In fact, there is a website I use that basically allows you to press every key on the keyboard, and it shows that, hey, this key was pressed. So you're able to see like a visual of, okay, every key works. So I kind of talked already when I unboxed what I all got, but just really quickly, this is the GMMK Pro keyboard. It is a very heavy mechanical keyboard. It is a 10 keyless one, and it has this knob right here. And macOS, right out of the box, I wasn't sure if this was going to work or not, but macOS does see this as volume control, so up and down, and then you can press it for mute as well. So that's pretty cool. And then the other thing I added to this keyboard is the brass plate. So I took out the plate that this comes with and replaced it with a brass one. Then I did the Kali or Calais, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this, Kali or Calais white switches. They are the clickety clackety one. Here, I will do a test for you. Okay, so they're not as loud as my Cherry MX Blue switches, but they feel better. I absolutely love the feel of these switches. Chef's kiss. And then the keycap set, like I mentioned, it's the ocean one, so it does this blue to teal color, like this nice diagonal color. I really like that. My only issue with the keycaps is they're Windows keycap sets, so there's no command key. So I had to use the Windows key for the spot next to the spacebar and the control key next to the spot for the spacebar. Both of those should be command keys. That bums me out a little bit because this keycap set is not cheap, and it kind of just like, to me, like, hey, maybe just throw in 2 more keys that have the word CMD on there. Like, I know like the website is like PC gaming, but also like the keyboard totally works with Mac OS. My only issue is the command keys don't work. The other thing you have to do is you have to go into Mac OS and on System Preferences, Keyboard, Modifier Keys, and you have to swap the Option key and the command key spot, because since this is a Windows keyboard, technically it sees where the Alt key is right now. It sees that as the command spot because that's where the Windows key is, and Alt is Option on Mac OS, so that's technically next to the spacebar on this keyboard. So, but if you go into the modifier keys, you can swap them so they're in the traditional spot. So Command is next to spacebar. So this keyboard's what's called a 75% layout, meaning there's no 10 key number pad over here on the side. So you have the delete, page up, page down, end keys over here. You have full-size arrow keys, print screen, and then this knob right up here. I love this knob. It's for volume control. You can mute. It's fantastic. It works really well. I love this keyboard so much. Like, it is so awesome. Friend of the channel, Gary, the Everyday Dad, he posted a picture of it on his Twitter feed, fell in love with it instantly. I went and bought it. He has a YouTube channel, obviously, and he also has a new keyboard channel. I'm going to put links to both those in the description below. Go check it out. He knows way more about mechanical keyboards than I do, so if you're interested in how to put them together, go check his videos out, because I just was kind of figuring it out as I went along. So for those that don't know, the draw of mechanical keyboards is really the switch. So what makes the switch so interesting in a mechanical keyboard is there's so many different types of switches. I mean, I could sit here all day and name switches and I still wouldn't even get through all of them. There's just a lot of them. So like I mentioned, these have the Kali white switches. Another one of my favorite switches are the Cherry MX Blue switches. So different kind of switches do different things. Some switches require more force for you to press down and like to signal, hey, this is a click. This is me clicking on this key. Some make a loud noise when they click, like the Cherry MX Blues. They're quite loud when you click on them. They're not exactly the keyboard I'd want to use if I was like on a phone call or something like that. These white ones, they're a little more quiet than the blue ones. So like all different kinds of switches can do different things. Some can require less force than others. So like you have to kind of find the switch you like for you. And there's a lot of switch testers on Amazon. So you can like buy like a $20 switch tester, and it makes for a fun fidget toy, and you can sit there and just play with different switches and stuff like that. But you kind of got to just figure out what you like. You can do a lot of research and reading. Everyone's preference is different. Like, I can't sit here and tell you which one's the best because everyone has a different preference. I like the really loud clickety clackety ones that require a lot of force, but those are the ones that are typically for typing. Then there are switches that don't require a ton of force, don't make a ton of noise. Those are typically for gaming and stuff like that. So all different switches have different use cases. So this is a hot swappable keyboard, meaning I can take the switches out, replace them with other switches. So if I wanted to go with the Cherry MX route, I could. If I wanted to do the Glorious Panda switches, I could. There's just so many different kinds of switches I could swap out. I'm really happy with the switches that are in here now, but I already am looking at different keyboards and different kind of switches for the future. If you like these mechanical keyboard videos, I'd love to do more in the future, especially now that I know what I'm kind of doing when I put these together. So overall typing with it, I've been doing a ton of typing lately. I've been taking a lot of notes. My iPad Air video just came out. I've been taking a lot of notes on that. I've been doing a lot of note taking for future videos, planning, prep. So I've been writing a ton. And honestly, this is the best feeling, best keyboard I have ever used. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it so much. I've had mechanical keyboards for a while, but they've always been pre-built ones. That they've never been ones I've assembled myself. So my favorite up until now has been the Code mechanical keyboard, but it has this plastic casing. And now that I've used this one, because this one has a full metal, that actually kind of hurt. This has like this full metal casing. It's just so nice, feels so good. Keycaps look good, except for the fact that there's no command key. That's my only issue with this. There's no command key. USB-C plug, so you can plug it in. It does have RGB, but you can turn it off if you hold down function, and you can use the up and down arrow keys to cycle through the RGB. So if you're like me and just absolutely hate RGB, you can turn it off. Do not worry. I was worried about that when I plugged it in and saw, I was like, oh no. And I didn't see like any RGB controls like on any of the keycaps. And I'm like, what do I do? Quick Google search, hold down FN, arrow keys, you can turn it off. So that's great because I do not like RGB at all. But overall, this was just a fun thing to do. It's not cheap by any stretch of the means. In fact, getting pre-made keyboards is a heck of a lot cheaper than getting keyboards you have to put together yourself, especially if you go with something like the Code mechanical keyboard or Keychron or even DOS keyboards. Like, they're a lot cheaper than what this is going to be. This was pretty expensive, but it's always been something I've wanted to do because I like mechanical keyboards, and I've wanted to put one together myself so I can see how it all works. And I like it, and I want to do more of these in the future. I don't think they'll be as pricey as this one, but as my sister-in-law likes to say, I'm a bit bougie, and I wanted a nice one for me because I do type a lot. I sit at my desk over there a lot with the iPad or with the Mac, and I do a lot of writing. So, and when it comes to video editing too, I do a lot of keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that. So having a nice keyboard is just something that's nice for my work. It was just a lot of fun to put together. If you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was kind of a weird video. Like, there's not a lot to get out of this except, hey, I have this keyboard and it's really cool. But if you want to learn about building mechanical keyboards in the future, let me know in the comments below. Now that I feel a little more comfortable with it, I'd totally be down to make more videos about it. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.